Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Hercules. I am the founder of Hercules Innovative Technology Solutions, and I am so proud and excited to welcome you to the very first Forever4Ward Tech Masterclass, where Erica Cunningham will be going over the AI basics with you this evening. And so since it's the first masterclass that we're doing, I just wanted to give a little bit of background, one, pertaining to me, two, pertaining to how this came to be, and then we'll jump right in. And so some of you may recognize me from a masterclass that I used to do a couple years back. It was a Black Women in Cybersecurity masterclass where I was teaching the different elements of information technology and how it integrates with cybersecurity. During that masterclass series, Erica was one of the guest speakers, and she did a tremendous job with explaining zero trust. And so I had to bring her back to be the very first masterclass guest speaker, just to go over the elements of AI. So the reason why I created this masterclass is because technology is just evolving at a rapid pace. And even for individuals like myself who have been in the technology space for over 20 years, I started as an app developer, transitioned into cybersecurity compliance, workforce development, system development, life cycles, and then technical training. It's still a lot to keep up with. And so with the discussions with my colleagues, as well as friends, I wanted to, one, be honest about the confusion that I have in some cases, and bring in some experts to really demystify and bring clarification, one, in the space of AI. But the masterclass will expand into different elements of technology, financial literacy, everything that's kind of on trend, just to break it down in a digestible manner. And so just from a housekeeping standpoint, the way the masterclass works, you will hear me say Nikki a number of times. She is on the back end. She's my comm specialist. And so when we want to be able to get questions, one, the questions help when we build our next masterclass series. And so if there's questions, we will have a section towards the end of the masterclass where we'll be able to answer some of your questions. And then another thing to mention, this masterclass is one of three. So this is considered the introduction. The next one is going to be a deeper dive. And then the last one is going to be an opportunity for you to be able to talk directly with an expert in the space. And so without taking away from Erica's presentation, she's going to go over some high-level concepts that will be very helpful to various levels. And then, as mentioned in the deep dive, we'll dive in a little deeper, go into maybe even AI prompts, helpful AI prompts. We've also created some helpful reference guides. And so with that, Erica, I want to thank you tremendously for being my first guest. Erica is one of my AI coaches. She is someone I contact when I'm like, well, how does this work? And is there an easier way for me to be able to do it? And so I want to thank you in advance for, sharing your knowledge in this space. And let's jump in.
Thank you for having me back, Michelle. I really appreciate the time here. Welcome, everyone. I'm hoping to give you a great demo after we talk about AI and kind of how AI is going today. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I have been in IT and security for like the last 25 years. When ChatGPT came out, I just decided to learn AI, and I've been using some of these models for about a year now, and I've gotten AI certified. So I'm digging in a lot deeper because technology is changing so fast that We have to basically not be afraid to use it. It's kind of like children when they started on their first iPad or something.
Right.
They're not afraid. They're just not afraid to even, ask what they want to ask. They're not afraid to click on icons. And you just have to be the same way with AI. AI is just very easy to use. You can even voice prompt it to do what you want it to do. But let's get into the basics of AI in this masterclass. So I am just going to start with basically going over, kind of how AI is used and from everyday applications, how businesses are using it in business transformation, IT transformation. And I'm just going to give you some of the ways that people use it in basic life. And then we'll get you some demos at the end. Is that okay? So let's move on. So, just in today's journey, I talked a little bit about how I was in IT and cybersecurity and how I was in like identity and access management, DevSecOps. You may not know what all these things are, but they're technical parts of the cloud and digital transformation that companies do. So, really, I was looking at AI for everyone as this topic and theme because now AI is really for everyone. It's really easy
Mhm.
to do. Students, professionals, and actually CEOs and executive levels use it for strategy. So it's a great way to uplift your career. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about platform comparisons, also practical uses of AI and some guardrails, as well as, we're going to do some fun facts and we're going to do some resources and, next steps for the next class. So really, we're just going to jump in right now and let you know that AI is transforming at the speed of light and it's changing how we work and how we live. And we're just going to give it all that we have because everyone who learns AI will be ahead in technology in the next few years. So AI is really for everyone. We're going to
Mhm.
discover artificial intelligence and how it serves every day. So I think it's a great way to use it, whether you're using it at home or at work. Just going to talk about some of those great ways that we use it today. So, just getting started, the reason why AI is for everyone is because people have started to look into ChatGPT. They started to look into what they can do with AI. They like to streamline their lives and some of the things that they're doing. So, a lot of people are using AI just to go into their email. They're using it to sort their email, prioritize their email. They're looking at it to become cooking assistants. They're looking
Mhm.
at AI to also build like fitness regimens for themselves and they can put in all of their parameters like their height, their weight, what their goals are. They can put in lots of different very granular things about themselves, even medications that they take, everything. AI will come out with a great workout plan for you. And people are just using AI for a variety of different things. And I think it's really cool because, you can streamline your life and do tasks a lot faster with AI just overall.
And one of the things I appreciate you sharing with me in regards to like AI every day is that you could use AI, it's as large as your imagination is, right? And so I know a lot of times when I would touch base with you, I'm like, well, what about this? And then you're like, well, there's a prompt for that. And so
There
I
is.
appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. Some people use it as a cooking assistant. They take a picture of their pantry, they take a picture of their refrigerator, they take a picture of their spice cabinet, and then they ask AI to go and do its magic and come up with a great recipe for them. I mean, there's just so many things you can do. It's amazing. So, just talking about AI, we're going to start out with students and how students are using AI. I never tell students to let AI write for you or anything like that. You're still going to need to use your brain, and people are still going to need to know how smart you are.
Mhm.
So, let's just keep one thing clear. I'm saying please use AI in an ethical manner, no
Yeah.
cheating.
Yes, yes.
So, where AI can really help students is in homework coaching. I find that homework coaching gets the concepts for students to really come clear. So, if they don't understand something, then they can ask AI to explain in a non-complicated way so that they can learn much faster. Also, you can use AI for study guides. You can also free up a lot of time and create practice questions just so that you get quizzes out of the way. You do active learning a lot faster. It's great for easy outlining if you have any papers that are due. You never want to put them You never want to not write them yourself. Don't plagiarize is what I
Mhm.
say.
Yeah.
And so you always want to put through, because they're going to check your papers anyway when you go to college. So they're going to check to see if AI wrote it anyway. So you should really just use it for outlining. And also for deep research, there are some sites that I'll tell you about that do well for students for deep research. Perplexity is one that I really like
Mhm.
for deep research. But there's a lot. ChatGPT can do a lot and Claude can do a lot, but I find Perplexity does the best research out there right now. So
And
just
just
think
yeah.
of,
Oops, sorry. Go ahead,
go
Erica.
ahead.
No, no, no. Once you're done.
I'm all finished. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So what I was going to say is, I think this slide in particular is very important, right? Because the perception right now is that there are some students that are using AI for cheating. And so I think that there's an opportunity for both students and the educator to understand that AI could be used for improvements in helping support the student to get to the next level, right? Because at this point in time, AI is just going to be a part of learning in your career. And so I appreciate the different elements that you broke down. And I know that you've broken this into um, different prompts as well
Mhm.
for helpful information.
Yeah, I have prompt libraries for students as well. It's a great way to tell students how to utilize AI in their normal learning process at college or even as an entry level worker. So these prompts actually are very creative and they're done from a prompt engineering standpoint. So they work very well for students. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, just how AI is used by professionals. First of all, if you're an entry level career or you're pivoting into another career, you can use AI for writing custom emails and for appointments and for meeting summaries. We find that a lot of entry level people use it for tasks and also for, making sure that they stay on task with their work and also that they are providing, it provides a good base for you to use AI for a lot of those little game changing moments that help you work faster and smarter. And we find that mid level career professionals use AI for mostly project management,
Mhm.
and they can actually put into ChatGPT or another AI model that says, please create, a timeline for this project. I have a $200,000 budget. Please tell me when, I have scope creep going on or something's going on with the project that I should make sure I rein it in. But you can ask ChatGPT to do all these things so that it keeps mid-level career people on path as well. So I really like it for mid-level, and then for the professional level and leaders. They're mostly using AI today for strategy.
Mhm.
They're looking into how they beat their competitors and how they actually show up and do a better job for their clients, as well as customer experience, being strategic with their marketing, also being strategic as to where the market is going. They're using AI for all of this information that they didn't have at their fingertips, but now they do. So it's a great way to be able to think of it. I have engineered prompts for all of these levels. So I think that everything is going to make you better if you take a look at the prompt library and then you kind of go through those and you see that they're strategically there to make you better and make you faster in the market. So I think that it's a lot that people have to take in right now. But if
Mhm.
you have some engineer prompts, you're going to do much, much better and you're going to be able to move quicker.
And I'll just add to that, the new normal is using AI for note taking. The new normal is using AI for helping with your tone, right? If you have more of a direct tone and you want to be more empathetic, you're using AI just to see how you could soften your tone. And so there are a lot of, I think, throughout all of these spaces, right? If you want to make improvements with your resume, selection of individuals, identifying skills gaps, AI could be leveraged from all of the professional levels.
Yeah, that's a great point, Michelle, because AI is used for pretty much everything from soup to nuts. And if you're the more creative person, the more that you ask AI, it's going to deliver a lot more than you think it will. So, really, AI for corporations, corporations are really using AI for upskilling. They want a lot of they want a lot of their employees to come with these AI skills, but for upskilling, some of them will be offering AI courses as well so that they can get formal training. The number one job right now is in AI automation for agents and AI engineering, prompt engineering and workflows. And so those are two careers that are just exploding right now.
Mhm.
And if you're looking into where to start, you should probably start uplifting your skills now. With I'll get you some places to do, process automation or any type of places where if you guys drop me a note, I'll tell you how you grow to get those skills. Knowledge management is a huge thing that companies are using today. They're just sucking as much data as they can so that they can make sure that, hey, with process management, they can really get as much done. So since these AI models take decades and decades of information in, they give you
Mhm.
a lot of information out. So I just think that it's great. But you really want to look at safeguarding AI. I'll show you how to safeguard AI as well as take a look at, data privacy is paramount and you shouldn't be going home and putting any type of corporate data into AI, and make sure that you're using the AI policy that your company has set. If they don't have a set AI policy, you should just make sure you always protect yourself and make
Mhm.
sure that you're using access controls as well as, multi-factor authentication. And then you're actually going into whichever AI model that you're using and telling it not to share the data that you're putting in with the AI learning model. So those are basically some guardrails that
Mhm.
people should consider.
I appreciate this slide. One, upskilling is one of the terms that are being thrown around. And so, explain the difference between upskilling and reskilling, right? Making sure that you're staying proficient in your specific space. But when you do hear of individuals needing like an AI security readiness assessment, right? These are some
Mhm.
of the elements that they're looking at. Like, what are the frameworks that they have to put in place to ensure that their organization, one, is meeting the trends of the time, but then is, being safeguarded. And so I know that we also have an offering for if individuals wanted additional details pertaining to like how do you do an AI readiness assessment. We can provide some insight and mentorship towards that.
Yeah, that's one of the best things that people need to do is they need to be AI ready in terms of corporate governance, because there's some pretty frightening things also going around AI. But maybe
Terrifying.
we'll keep that for a later slide. Let's have that
It's
conversation.
just the basics today. Yes.
It's the basics today. So if you have a cybersecurity background, you're like, oh my God, frightening. But it is going to be a great time for people to learn at a very high level and a very high rate, faster than they've ever learned before. So it's a great time. So just talking about the transitions that people are doing right now, if you've been in real estate or if you've been in another area, you can use AI in almost any area. Or if you're pivoting your career, really, AI is one of the best ways to start looking at um, your resume optimization, interview prep, just being able to talk about your skills gaps. So you can put your resume into ChatGPT, tell it what job you're looking for. You can do a gap analysis, and it can do very well at telling you how you bridge those gaps. And so a lot of people like to test AI, and also just coming up with a networking strategy so that you're staying connected to your community. If you're working in the same vertical market, that you want to make sure that you're keeping connected, because people buy from people, and people work with people that they know and that they like. AI cannot replace you as a human being. So I just think that a lot of people get really scared about their jobs. But I think that AI is going to help some of the smartest human beings get even smarter and do things more efficiently in the future. Any take on that, Michelle?
Oh, if you go back to the slide, I think you covered majority of the things that I was going to cover. So no worries. We could go to the next slide, Nikki.
Okay, sorry about that. I didn't mean to take you
No,
apart.
it's okay. It's okay. No worries.
You can talk about that anytime you want to. It's kind of like
No worries.
so I'm going to talk about now the leading AI platforms that are out there. There's some more that I'd like to talk about as well. But really, I'd like to talk about AI platforms and just give you an idea of kind of what is used for what, and then kind of talk about transitioning into how much these cost in order to learn them and to use them.
And before you even get started with this one, this is the slide I really wanted to get to because there's so many different platforms. And so at times I'm like, okay, well, which platform would be the best for, deep research? Which one would be the best for creating videos? And so, yes, can't wait to
I'm
go
glad
into.
I've used quite a few of those, so it's getting better. Some of them came with challenges at first, but the video and audio, and then combining the two, yeah, it takes a little bit of interest, but if you are curious, you will get it. So just to talk about this platforms as a conversation, the first platform that came out was ChatGPT in November of 2022. And ChatGPT is now connected to the X platform. And it's a very good model. It's one of the leading models. And I think it'll stay one of the leading models because its strengths are to be able to make sure that you maximize any type of that you maximize the data that you're getting out of it. You have to be careful with AI because it does sort of hallucinate, and I'll tell you a little bit about
Mhm.
that in a minute. But it was basically very conversational, and people were really happy to use ChatGPT in the beginning, and the platform's gotten much better. It does images well, it does a lot of other things. There's also a new browser inside of ChatGPT if you want to change your browser to use an AI browser, because sometimes those are more efficient with searching. Also, I love Gemini. Gemini is a great platform. Gemini has something called Nano Banana and a lot of other things. I'm going to show you, like the Google Gemini. I'm going to show you storybooks and do some demos for you. Also, if you're looking at Microsoft Copilot, it's been around as one of the first. What I really like about Gemini is that it has a lot of strengths and that it's easy to use, and it gives you probably something similar to what ChatGPT can do, but now that Google has built out a new browser as well, it does a lot of really good browsing, as well as it has other features that let you do scope analysis and competitive analysis on your competitors. So I think that Google is using a lot of their platform for strategy. Whereas if I put something in ChatGPT, and I use ChatGPT and it gives me an outline. ChatGPT is not really the best writer. I find that Claude is the best writer that I've seen out there for long tail writing, because you can take an outline in ChatGPT, you can put it into Claude, and it'll give you a depth of information that you never knew was possible. But the writing is just amazing inside of Claude. And so, what I like about Microsoft Copilot is that it's sort of kind of your corporate standard,
Mhm.
and their AI is used mostly for kind of Microsoft things and applications. So I like Copilot, but it's kind of integrated into the platform of 365. So it's very helpful with all of the 365 tools. And now Microsoft has chat agents that are also being developed for the cloud. So you'll find that out of the agents that are kind of freeform builds with different tools, that you'll find that Microsoft and Palo Alto and some other companies are coming out with more security than some of them. You build it in N8N and you build it with all these other tools and it works well, but the problem is that you're still going to have to do the heavy uplift of making all of those AI automations that you've put in better and better. And so it's like reprogramming everything. So I think that people who have standard platforms like Microsoft and Palo Alto, and of course, ChatGPT, because they are an engine, they will be making things that are more secure, that are more, I guess, how do you call it, streamlined
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
corporate? Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that the custom builds are probably going to go away. Plus, some of the custom builds have already been broken. Well, actually, all the agents have been broken, but we'll talk about that later. So, yeah, I like most of the platforms, and I like Perplexity because it does deep research, and I think that people can get a lot out of Perplexity. Um, I will talk about more in the next couple of slides. So now we have to talk about paid versus free on these platforms. So whether it's ChatGPT or Grok, which is Elon Musk's company, or whether it is Gemini or Claude, they all have free and paid versions. Most of the paid versions will give you a little bit more, so you'll get some advanced features. You'll be able to use the platform for more research, because if you have the free version, it's going to tell you that you've hit the max in like, 25 to 30
Yeah, after
messages.
like 12 or 20. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like when you're going through it really quick, you'll say, "Oh my God, I got to the end. I can't go anymore." So therefore, you end up paying like $20 a month. For most platforms, are $20 to $25 a month, and depending upon how you're going to use it, you have to weigh whether you want to do a paid version or a non-paid version. And then if you have more employees or something, you're on enterprise, which starts at like probably $200 a platform and goes up from there. Just depends on how many users you have. So I think that there's advantages and disadvantages, but if you're a student, you might want to use a free version because it doesn't cost you anything, but you don't get as much research done. But if you can afford the $20 a month, most small businesses and home users still will pay the $20 so that they can get, so they won't run out of tokens.
Right. And I appreciate you going over the free versus the paid version, because I do think individuals who are novice in this state, they're like, okay, I'm going to stay with the free, and then they're expecting,
World.
the options of the paid model, right? And so depending on what your focus is, you may want to just pay the $20, and it will help you tremendously.
It will help you tremendously. I'm not saying subscribe to everything, because you may
Yeah.
not need everything, but you might want to take something that you're paying for in ChatGPT for $20 and throw whatever outline it gives you into Claude for free, and then get as much from that platform or Perplexity. And then you may lose your token, run out of tokens, but you'll get a lot more research if you're kind of, using your data amongst the tools, right?
Mhm.
And seeing what each tool gives you. Now, we're really going to talk about not only paid versus unpaid, but we need to really talk about how to secure these models, what you should put, what you should not put in these models,
Mhm.
as well as um, just what you want to do with them, because a lot of these models seem really easy to work with, and they're really easy to work with, but you got to make sure that you're not causing a business issue or even sharing any of your personal data with the
Yeah.
training model. Because it's just like people pay, a company called Incogni keeps your stuff, your data from the data brokers, selling it to everybody. You want to keep things private. So
Mhm.
keeping things private means that you need to go in and secure your instance and say, please do not share with the model, because it just becomes problematic later. And you could also get into some legal problems with your company
Absolutely.
if you're sharing any of their proprietary data, any spreadsheets, any sales information, any accounting info, finance information. Even if you're just like redoing a PowerPoint presentation, or you're redoing, the AI models want to suck in all data.
Yes. No,
So
and I will reiterate too, being a former cyber security auditor, this is where AI, makes me a little nervous, right? And I could be risk adverse because, right, if you work in the privacy space, you really have to be careful about your privacy elements that you're sharing. And so you still, when you are using AI, you still have to be able to use common sense, and then also still think about it from a reputational risk, financial risk, if there's information that you just wouldn't want in the hands of someone else to sell, right? And so there has to be some type of guardrails as well.
I agree. I just don't think that people are going to, if they're not taught the right way, they're going to use the tool improperly, and then they're going to maybe cause a problem for themselves, which is what sometimes that's the fear of AI. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you learn how to secure the model for yourself so that it's siloed away from other data and it's not sharing, then it's better. I still wouldn't say put corporate data in it, but
no, no classified, no corporate.
from a cybersecurity perspective, it's like it's too risky. But
Absolutely.
it's like Alexa or anything that people swear it's not listening to you in your home, but then they have stuff that pops up in their browser that says, "Hey, you were looking at this pair of shoes." And so, yeah, unfortunately, I don't like those tools in my house. But you never know who's watching or what's going on. So really, you just want to make sure that you're being as safe as possible. So some practical guidance. We're going to go over this safety, responsibility, and using things effectively. And we can do some guardrails around how to protect and maximize the value of what you're using. And I always say get as much as you can out of what you're using and make sure that you're doing it safely. And you think about corporate governance and about policies. And if your company has no policies, you should probably help them get some policies
Yes.
around their data control, because people are going to attack you. It just depends on how many layers of security you have in between your data and the people themselves, because there's just a huge there's a huge appetite for stealing. Okay, I'm just going to put it that way. It's just a huge appetite, which is why so many companies are still hacked. But we're trying to get things to be safer or more safe. So just some of the AI guardrails that I put up. These are kind of like your 5 that you should really be looking at, the do's and don'ts.
Mhm.
So first, we're just going to talk about being able to, always secure the AI model. And then I just want to talk about, well, I did talk about securing the AI model, and I think that that's the best thing that you should do. First of all, number 2 is, I'm sorry, this is really small for me, Michelle. Can you go over these?
Here we go.
Sorry.
Right now, I can put my glasses on. No, but yeah, always verify the AI output. And so,
Mhm.
as Erica was saying, and as we mentioned, it is extremely important to have some AI guardrails in place. And so, I asked her really to put this together because there should be 5 non-negotiable, at least 5 non-negotiables, right, when it comes to AI. And so, the second one is to never share sensitive information, right? And again, with AI, there's a level of comfort. A lot of people are making AI their friend, and they're not necessarily knowing that they are sharing sensitive information. So you still have to be able to have a separation on, okay, is this information that I can share or I would be willing to share if it was exposed on CNN? Um, Understand AI's limitations and bias. So, as we all know, AI is growing, but the concerns previously was that there wasn't enough data points, and particularly when it came to African Americans or when it came to different races. I was joking with Erica. I remember I was trying to make a prompt for a young Black girl with braids, and that just didn't exist. And now this was many moons ago. So AI has evolved, but you have to still be mindful that the data, there's still data feeding the on the back end. So there is some bias, and you may not have all elements in there. Um, and then what I think is one of the most important areas is that you still have to maintain human oversight. I know there's a big fear right now that AI is taking over. I'm going to lose my job, but not if you stay on top of AI. There's always going to have to be someone that has to put a framework in place. There's always someone who's going to have to verify and make sure that the way in which AI is functioning is the way that you want it to, right? And that the data that is being provided meets your organizational standards or your business or your school, whatever level that you're at, right? So there will always be a human-centric component, but that's why it's so important to make sure that you're getting the skills that you need to be ahead of the game. And then let's see, what's this last one?
The last one is being
Transplant
being
about.
transparent. Yeah, being transparent with AI is just
Oh yes,
a huge
yes.
thing. So
Erica,
just
did you want to cover that?
sure. Just making sure that when you're being transparent about AI, if you're using AI anywhere in your job, you should probably let someone know that, hey, I'm using AI, especially to make sure that you're not doing anything against corporate policy, but also that it make sure that it doesn't erode your work. I mean, because if
Mhm.
something doesn't sound like you wrote it or that the people will
Yes,
notice. I mean, it's kind of like that imposter syndrome that you don't want to happen to you, you know? So you just want to make sure you're being transparent at all times and just, like I say, if you put garbage in AI, you're going to get garbage out.
this is true.
If you do your prompt engineering correct and it's very detailed, you're going to get very detailed responses. And you always want to make sure that, you're really looking at, you know, making sure. I did this one time, and a lot of people don't realize that AI models hallucinate.
Hmm.
The only platform that I've seen is Claude, where it'll tell you is that Claude sometimes makes mistakes. So they kind of give you that, hey, please double check everything when it comes back because, I asked AI to list 10 songs with the word sunshine in it, and it gave me 10 songs, but they weren't all songs with the word sunshine in it. They had sun, they had light, they had day, they had
Hmm.
sunshine. So um, I had to tell ChatGPT to go back again and please show me the line where it says sunshine and give me 10 songs. So it gave me 10 songs with the word sunshine in it, but you basically had to narrow that gap so that you're going to get back the right data that you expected.
I think
And
another helpful point too is as you are using AI, it learns your personality, it learns your themes, it learns from you, right? And so to the point that you were making before, depending on if you're putting inaccurate information in there, it may regurgitate it thinking that it's accurate, right? So that's why you still
Mhm.
have to double check to make sure that it's producing what you want it to produce.
True. So, just the human centric highlights. I love this slide because,
Yes.
emotional intelligence still matters. So, AI can really draft things that are empathetic, email. Doesn't actually feel empathy. You can train it to have your voice and your tone and things like that, but it does not have human emotional intelligence yet.
Mm.
And we are not we are not replaceable. So, our intelligence is irreplaceable. So we let AI handle routine tasks and it has some human skills and it has some empathy, but it can't do really conflict resolution. The relationships that we build with people are more valuable. So people should always think and value themselves because the emotional intelligence still is there. Critical thinking remains essential whenever you're using AI, as well as ethics and responsible use. We talked a little bit about that, and also AI just really augments and makes you a super super learner, so that you're a super employee or you're super beneficial to yourself. Whatever you do, it can draft, research, organize. It can do a lot of things for you, but the best work happens when we collaborate with it.
Absolutely.
That's my 2 cents. So just some fun facts about AI, and I think we'll might have some time to jump into a couple of demos. I'm not going to hit all these, but these are just some fun facts about AI. That 70% of indie music is made with AI today. Art auctions. So Christie's and other prestigious auction houses uh, have been doing getting AI generated art and selling it for like a lot of money. So there is a lot of creativity going on now in AI art. 96% of plankton accuracy. So if you're a marine biologist, AI is identifying more and more species underwater. It's really kind of crazy, where we're able to now capture um, these new entities underwater, and we're able to label them, and we're able to understand it and understand the ocean ecosystems better. That's just one area. Um, in jobs, it's going to change a lot, but it's going to make a lot of millionaires and billionaires. So I would say learn AI, because really you have the chance to make millions and millions of dollars in AI right now. And it's going to have a lot more billionaires by 2030. It's not always what we want to hear, but you might as well get in on it. Anything to add to that, Michelle?
No, I think it's interesting to show like the different jobs, right, that are going to be trending to AI, the price tag associated with it because it's such a new skill set. And so, yeah, jumping in earlier rather than later is good. Also, one of the things that you have on here related to like smart devices, right? Like everything right now is from your phone. You could change your temperature. You could open your garage, right? And so,
Thermostats, Alexa,
right,
you can talk to it. Yeah. And we do more with AI than we really realize
this
on a
is
daily
very true. Yeah. But, as another part of the fun facts, I did want you to be able to go into demo of some of the things that you've created, just for the audience to be able to see.
Okay, great. I'm just gonna try to pull that up. Are we on the last slide? Are we into Q&A? We're on resources and next steps, so I think we're gonna do okay.
So, Nikki, we could finish the deck out and then we'll go to the demo.
I think that we're gonna do this journey with kind of
Oh,
the takeaways and
so sorry, Nikki, if you could go back to the top 30 slide really fast. Thank you. So this is an important slide, but then also a slide that Erica has put in a work paper that if you want to be able to use this going forward, you can. Nikki, if you could go to and Erica, I don't know if you wanted to add anything else pertaining to that slide.
no, I think if we do like 3 or 4 more slides, we may not make it to the end.
Okay.
So, um, was there anything that you wanted to
Yeah,
say?
let's go to the next slide, Nikki. Yeah, I think right. So we kind of touched upon this. So the different type of consulting services that that can we would be able to provide, right? AI readiness assessments, customized trainings, and strategic AI consulting. We'll send information out about that. Next slide, Nikki. Okay. And then yeah, we could skip this. So now if we could go into a demo, Erica, that'd be great.
Okay. Are there any questions yet in the
I think just being mindful of the time, if we did have questions, we'll go into that in the deep dive. But I think it's just more important for us to go into the demo, and then if we have one or two questions at the end, then we could cover that, or we'll cover it in the next masterclass.
Okay. So I'm going to try to share screen here. Not really getting what I want, but let me see if this works. Aha. First, we're going to go here. So can you see my screen, Michelle?
Now I can.
Okay, great. The first one that I've set up is Google Gemini. What people don't know is Gemini makes really great storybooks for little kids. So I put in a prompt here to create a storybook, and it's called Aaliyah's Gourmet Heart. A lot of people don't know that I have a niece named Aaliyah, and she's just awesome. So I made her this little book for herself. She's not 12 anymore, but I made her this awesome book. And you can actually take these stories that you create and you can actually download them, sell them online. They come fully illustrated. But I am going to play this first one for you, and I'll play a couple of pages just so that you can see what Gemini can do from a prompt. And so I said that she's a 12-year-old African-American girl named Aaliyah who loves cooking for her Aunt Ingrid and Uncle Kevin that she lives with. And it made this little book.
Aaliyah's Gourmet Heart. Aaliyah, who was 12, had an awesome gourmet palate and a spice acumen. Her kitchen was her kingdom, and her pots and pans were her loyal subjects. She didn't just cook, she created. Her Aunt Ingrid and Uncle Kevin were her biggest fans. They would sit at the kitchen table, their eyes wide with excitement, as Aaliyah presented her latest creation. Her little sister Brooklyn was a picky eater, but not when Aaliyah was the chef. Aaliyah knew just how to make a plate of vegetables disappear with a sprinkle of magic and a dash of her secret sauce.
So you get a good idea here of what you can create, which is awesome.
It's really adorable.
It's adorable. You can send storybooks to people in your family. I think it's a way to send them. You can text them. And I think it's a great way for, new mothers, if they want to create things for their kids. I think it's just really great that they're able to do things on the fly and that it's easy for them to be able to um, uh, get what they need really quickly. So the next demo that I'm going to do for you has to do with creating for people who are doing slide presentations. There is a website called Gamma. I love Gamma because it'll create 10 slides for you and then you can add on to that. But basically with a free subscription, you can put in a prompt like I've put in a prompt for a company that I made up. It's called Echo Glow and it's an eco-friendly skincare company, and it's going to generate a presentation for me, and it's going to generate one really, really fast. So if you look at how AI is consuming and getting us data back, it is just incredibly, incredibly fast. If you look at this, the slides are already created. You go ahead and pick a theme.
So Erica, it's still showing the book
Prompt?
Gemini. Yeah, so it
Oh,
hasn't switched
sorry. You
over.
know what? I'm going to have to go
It's
back
okay.
and I'm going to have to go back and reshare. That's kind of bad.
No, take your time.
I'm going to go back here and I'm going to reshare. Apparently, it'll only let me share one screen at a time. So I will tell it to share another screen. This is where I want it to go. So I'm going to put my prompt back in.
Okay, excellent.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in and it's going to generate a new one. It's just a really quick prompt. It says, I have a company called Echo Glow that is organic and eco-friendly, and you use eco-friendly materials for skincare. Please present the company and what we do. That is just a really basic prompt. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to choose a theme. I love the purple theme, but I'm also going to tell it to use images, and I'm going to ask it to use stock photos. And so it's going to use stock photos, and then I ask it to generate. And can you still see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Watch it because it's going to be really fast.
Wow.
Look at this.
That is really amazing.
Look at that. And people, they can do their jobs really fast if they know how to prompt well. It'll give you back stuff really, really quickly, and it looks good. And you can change these slides. You can move things around. It's just really, it's a great tool. I like
it's really clean and concise. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is really nice. And then if you want to go back and take a look at it, you can just say, hey, I want to see these slides. I want to go back and talk about the growing brand and community, sustainability.
Wow.
It's just really like it gives you stuff that you wouldn't normally get, or you'd have to take longer to present this. And you can change the fonts, you can change the photos, you can tell it you what type of photos you want, either stock or custom. I mean, it's just really it's really a cool tool. So I like using it, but that is Gamma, and it's called Gamma AI.
Nice.
And thanks for listening to the presentation. I'm just going to go to the next one. It's like I may have to unshare and share again, but I'm going to do that real quick.
No worries.
So we're going to go to ChatGPT. Let's do that. I love ChatGPT. So now, if you want to utilize ChatGPT, ChatGPT will do a lot of things. I have kind of set up ChatGPT well, first, let me tell you something. If you go to ChatGPT and you're going to use it right away, you can go to ChatGPT and you can go to your settings down here in the bottom. So you just need to go to settings, and then here are all your settings. So just to make sure that you're not sharing your AI model with other people, you're going to go to security. You can set up your authentication here, and you're going to go to personalization, and you can set up your style and tone. You can set up any of these so that it's going to sound more like you. You can give it some custom instructions so it'll write more like you. But if you're looking at, let's see, data controls, you want to make sure that when it says improve the model for everyone, that is off.
Okay, so that has to be off. Okay.
That has to be off. Otherwise, it's eavesdropping and taking in all the data that you're giving it. So that little toggle is very, very important. Okay.
Wow.
So you want to make sure that that is off. You can put delete chats, or you can delete all, or you can do all of that in these data controls in the back end. But those are 3 things that you really should look for when you're setting up ChatGPT, is that you do not want to share anything with the data model. Otherwise, it just sucks in information. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk to ChatGPT. I'm going to tell ChatGPT that I want to do a podcast, and I will get ChatGPT to talk to me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start talking. Hello, Tyrone, are you there?
I'm right here, loud and clear, ready to jump in whenever you are. Let's get this show rolling.
Okay, I'd like to create an epic podcast. I'd like you to ask me questions about cybersecurity and AI, and maybe ask me 3 questions, and we'll just do a trial run, okay?
All right, let's jump in. First up, how are AI agents changing the cybersecurity threat landscape? Second, what's the biggest blind spot for executives when adopting AI tools? And finally, if you had one must-do governance policy for AI security today, what would it be?
Those are great questions, Tyrone. First of all, AI agents, which are changing things by the minute in corporate America, because people are starting to realize that AI agents can be persistent. You can give them credentials on the network, and they can do persistent tasks, and they can do those autonomously, which means that they can log in, they can check your email, they can do some spreadsheets for you, they can do something that's already built for already something in your job description that you do, as well as in the bigger picture, the blind spots that people have when they're adopting AI, especially AI agents today, I think is a blind spot, is that they haven't really looked at their corporate policies around AI, and they haven't looked at their threat vectors from putting these agents out. And the third, what is the must do for executives when it comes to AI today? That would be have a great cybersecurity policy and usage around AI, overall governance in your company.
Erica, you nailed it. Persistent agents are definitely the game changer, and you're spot on. Governance is non-negotiable. That trial run was fire. Ready for the next round anytime. Ciao for now, Erica.
Ciao for now.
Well, I want Tyrone to be on the next show, or because he sounds like he's coming for my job. That is really awesome.
So people do everything with AI. I have like maybe 2 more that I can do, but I want to give us some time to close out. So do we have time for 2 more, or just let me know if it's like we're going to have to do this in the next segment?
I know, because I know we're trying to cram a lot of information. We could do 2 more, and then right, this is a sneak peek for what we'll do in the deep dive. So what Erica will do in the deep dive masterclass is she'll go into these prompts more. You'll be able to learn more on how to leverage the prompts, create AI agents. But yeah, we could do maybe one or 2.
Okay. Let's go to, I'm going to share my screen one more time. See if I can get one. A lot of people are using AI today to create music. There's a great site called Suno. And on Suno, you can use an AI prompt and it will create music for you on the fly. I just wanted to give you guys kind of a touch of what you can do. There's all different genres. There's all different things that you can do with AI, but really creates music in a stylish manner, and it does it really, really quickly. So I can just share with you some music. I don't know if I'll have time to create it because it does take a couple of minutes for it to make, but I'm just going to play back some songs. I've done some country and Western, I've done some R&B, but I really like this particular platform because it gives you creativity. What you can do is you can share what you've created with the community, and the community will give you feedback as to whether they think it's going to be a hit song or not, or, and you can change the lyrics, you can change the voices, use synthesizers. I've used classical music and mixed classical music with hip hop, and it's just amazing as a tool.
I was like trophies on a shelf. Then you said, baby, rest right here. Now
Okay.
softer when you're near. If love's a rhythm, you my groove. Not too loud, but it moves me smooth. You don't chase, you don't confine. You love me free, and you love me right on time.
Okay, I really wasn't expecting to like it, but I like it. I like it. It's really nice.
You liked it?
Love.
So yeah, people use this for music. So we'll go into different ways that you use AI. There's code base where I've created applications for, testing for the CISSP, and it's just a lot that you can do with AI these days. So I get a kick out of it, and I get a kick out of what you can do with it. So if you're very experimental and creative, you're going to do really well with AI.
Okay, I almost want to go into one more, and then we'll close it out.
Okay, I didn't want to take too much time with the music, but you get an idea.
I loved it.
Let me see if I can go to code 44. I'm going to share my screen one more time. We're building all these. This is code 44 is an application builder, and you can turn with base 44. You can turn your ideas into applications. And I have a prompt that I set up here. I'm just trying to make a quick study guide for the CISSP exam, which I'm studying for. So that's like basically.
So Erica, it's not sharing if you're showing us.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
Not yet.
Oh my goodness. I have to go back here. Stop screen. I have to start.
This is a big one, right? Because a lot of people sometimes struggle with the CISSP.
Yeah, they struggle with the CISSP, and I'm hoping that I'm showing this now. Do you see it?
It's coming. There we go.
Okay, great. So basically turning your ideas into application. Base 44 lets you create a lot of different things. Some people use this for fully functional products that they're going to put up on the iOS or the Google store. So you can create apps with Base 44. So just taking a look at, there's all kinds of use cases, resources. It tells you what the pricing is, but I just have like on the free tier, and I just put in a prompt, and it says, please build an application so that I can study the CISSP. For that exam, I need a tiled application where I can swipe left and swipe right. So I gave it a little bit of parameters as to what I'd like to see. I've built this before, so hopefully it builds it the same way again. So let's see if I can get in here. Get it done. It's telling me what it's doing.
Oh.
It's telling me what features it's building in. And it's going to go ahead and create the application for me. So right now it's writing, and let's just see if it does build something. It looks like it's building. So sometimes it takes a few minutes to do the build, but if you're studying for any type of exam or something and you want to do some prompting and see what kind of application you can build, if you're studying for an exam or you're studying for a high-level certification, what the app is doing is going out and looking at the CISSP. It's looking at all the domains of the CISSP. It's gathering all that data in the background so it can come back in and make the application for me so that it's a tool that I can use. So we're just going to give it a couple of minutes because this stuff really generates faster than you might think, but it's really fast. And I'm going, okay, I can't believe I built that in like 5 minutes. I can make it better because with the stock window open here on the left-hand side of your screen, you can actually take the application and you can start building it, and you can start refining it, and you can start getting an idea of making it better so that you can make it more usable for yourself. But it's going to come up with a lot to start with, but people are starting to get the idea of, with AI, how fast you can build things and how fast you can do things and how you can streamline your life, and you can do a lot of things much faster and cleaner and make your life a lot more streamlined, as well as anything that you do at work. So
The sky is the limit.
the sky is the limit, let me tell you. If we have robots like Amika and things like that, I'll get into that later. But I mean, it's a lot of data that people are crunching on a daily basis. And it's really nice to say that you don't really need to have much talent. You just have to have creativity, and it will write the code and everything for you. And people just need to go, and I say, I'll start prompting, and I'll start asking for things, and I'll ask in more detail, and it'll write a lot of things for you that you didn't think that you could get done in such a short period of time. So I think it's the wave of the future, which you can't really get around it. So you might as well start
You
somewhere.
have to jump right in.
Yeah, I think this is going to
Absolutely.
take a little bit longer.
Yeah, but still, I'm glad that you shared this, because this is another example of how studying has evolved, right? So
hmm
in the old days, you would have your note paper and you have your, the writing down approach. And so this, and maybe we'll be able to share this more so in the deep dive, if it doesn't come up within like the next minute or so. But I do appreciate you sharing this. So those who are studying for different exams, they could see a resource that can help them.
Yeah, now people don't have to be full stack. They don't have to be full stack developers anymore. They actually can use this as a collaborative tool. They can use it in their engineering teams with Slack, and somebody could start an application and somebody else has a little more skill in full stack development. They can actually partner with teams, and they can all actually contribute to the code by just prompting and doing specialized prompts so that it gets closer to what you're looking for. So I think that it's great, because now AI is a collaborative tool between engineering groups, where not everybody is an engineer does full stack development. I mean, one of the best things that you can do right now is learn vibe coding and Python, because those are really great skills to go along with AI.
Yeah,
So
100%.
I don't know if we're going to get this today, but
Yeah,
we
I
will
think we're
share
gonna have
this.
to. I think we'll have to share the end results in the deep dive.
Okay, no
But
problem. I am going to stop sharing, but we tried to get everything in
we
today.
did, we did.
We tried to
And
get everything in.
so, Erica, I want to thank you, because yes, as you can see, we tried to cram a lot of information across various areas. But I think you all could see whoever attended, why I was so excited to have Erica be the guest speaker. Her passion in the space, her ability to really talk about all of these complex AI functions and platforms, is really a skill set that I admire. And so I'm
Thanks.
looking forward to the deep dive that we're going to go into. I know Nikki has been displaying some of our some websites that you can access. So if you're interested in mentorship, you could set up an appointment via Calendly. If you're interested in some artifacts that we discussed, there's also an opportunity to get some of those artifacts. In the next masterclass, we will go through those artifacts as well in a deeper, from a deeper standpoint. And so, Nikki, the other thing that we probably should share is the hello@hits.consulting. So if anyone is interested in being a guest speaker, if you have a topic that you are a subject matter expert in, I welcome hearing that. If you have suggestions for us on information that you would like us to jump into a little deeper, the next masterclass will be April 4th. And so we have time to construct the next masterclass in that manner. But I also just want to thank everyone who joined today for the inaugural Forever4Ward Tech Masterclass. I am excited for the next steps in this journey, and I thank you for joining me with this. Erica, any last comments before we close?
Thanks. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you for this time, Michelle. I really appreciate being and casting with you. We always have a lot of fun.
We
And
do.
I'm looking for forward to the next one. We'll try to make that sort of more structured. But if you guys could check out any of those spaces on the internet, or if you're interested in some white papers and collateral that we've left for you on Michelle's site, then just send a message to hello@hits.
hello@hits.consulting. But Nikki also just showed the direct links. At the
Okay,
bottom.
great. I just wanted to make sure they had them. And if they have any questions and they want any of my time, they can certainly book a one-on-one. I would love to do some personal training with them or anything that they're interested. And we can set up another one for the both of us to, go at it together. But people are learning a lot. And if they want to know a lot more, just, ask for help, right? That's what I did.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you again, Erica. And thank you all. Look forward to seeing you on our next masterclass.